Hey guys, I'll be here. Welcome back for episode 9 of season 2 of Andor. The last episode was a heavy one. The Empire finally pushed things over the line, over the edge, so that they could get their hands on this Calcite, leading themselves to stir this pot to the point that it boiled over by their own machinations and slaughtering all of these people, and then trying to cover all of that up while the people that survived and made it out of there are trying to keep the truth of the matter alive and spread that like wildfire while the Empire tries their best to drown it out. During the whole fray, Cassian got his hands on one of their Imperial security droids, so soon, maybe not in this pod, but maybe in the next one at least, we'll finally get to hang out with K2SO for a little bit before we sunset off into the adventures of Rogue One. But I'm excited to see what happens next, see how we pick up after the events of such a devastating episode. So guys, let's get ready to jump in. If you want to see the full reaction, as always, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, get you access as well. It is a watch-along format, so you will need your own footage to sync up with the time codes for actually the entire episode. Over there, you get the same thing for all the other shows and movies that we cover on the channel. You also get a suggested vote of what movies to react to each month. It's just a great way to support the channel, help us do the things we do over here. But at the end of the day, really appreciate it. Enjoy this reaction. To least leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already, because it really helps these videos out. That all said out of the way, let's get ready to jump into episode 9. Welcome to the rebellion. Here we go.
Think about a planet like Ghorman, your rebellion. If it goes up in flames, it will burn.
And burn it is.
What's going on? Ambassador Ora, he's been arrested.
Wait, what?
No charges. This is the Senate chamber. I have every right to be here. But no one helped.
What the hell? Wow.
Have you seen the numbers? The Ghorman dead? We need to stand up and speak the truth. And then we need to leave.
You're right, something needs to be said. And Yava needs your leadership. I just can't go with you.
Oh.
Not yet.
You'd be a hostage.
Let's hope not. Work on the speech. And be very careful. Senator Tone found a listening device in her office. And tell no one. Be ready to
Lovely.
when you're done. And be very careful.
Even when we catch up with Leia and all of them, we know he was still a diplomat.
These credentials will work inside, but they scan for weapons at the entrance. You'll want to hang on to this one.
I won't be needing it. I'm done after this.
Done with what? With us? With all of it?
You'll know what it means.
So it's a private thing, something I wouldn't understand.
I didn't say that.
Can I guess? You're tired. It's too much. It's too hard. You were a witness to the Ghorman massacre. The senator you'll be saving is about to risk everything, putting a voice to the atrocity. You just survived.
Oh, he's the exit strategy.
When have I not come through? I need to start making my own decisions.
I thought that's what we were fighting for.
Dude, that is fucking wild.
I need to practice the speech.
Oh, yeah.
It's not on our end.
So it just went dead.
Dude, that is a gorgeous setup right there, man.
How did you know I would be here?
Erskine Samaj works for me.
All this time?
He's protected you in ways you'll never know.
Oh my goodness.
Bail Organa's team is corrupted.
Which team is that?
The one that's taking you to Yavin after your speech.
Oh.
If you go with Bale's plan, you'll be in a cell before sunset.
It makes me quite a risk, doesn't it?
Oh, she's scared about what?
I'm more afraid of you than anything.
But what I'm telling you about Bale is true.
Don't you dare.
What I'm telling you cannot be shared. You'll ask if he's alone. He will say, I have friends everywhere.
There's a code word. There we
I
go.
have friends everywhere. Those words.
Damn, though, he's coming in. Like, Luthen's a scary dude, but I think even he knows how important she is.
I'm not sure I've felt this betrayed in my life, and I've had some experience. When did you start?
After the wedding. 2 years. I've tried to protect you.
And you failed.
And I'm sorry you feel that way.
You're dismissed.
It's been an honor.
Is she going through with it?
Ask Luthen. We didn't have much of a conversation.
Still some bridges you haven't burned. We'll take care of that today.
She threw him out. All we know about Bail Organa's team is that there's something wrong.
Dale's people might be there already. If she gets arrested,
It all comes down.
So many eggs in one basket, man.
Chloris, sir. Exmar Chloris.
Have you located Senator Mothma?
No, sir. She's been in there all night.
Let us know if anything changes.
Ronnie, Gough.
good job. Mid-rim network.
I see that. I just don't have a bay assigned for you. You'll have to float this morning. That's the best I can do today.
Works for me.
What are we doing?
Senator Mothma's making a speech. When she's done, we'll escort her to the plaza where there's a ride waiting. Gate 9, she'll meet us there. We'll pull the gear and meet you up there.
God. I'm like on edge.
There'll be an escort team waiting. They'll be at Gate 9. Do what they tell you.
Do you trust them?
Of course. Don't worry about me. Once I get you started, I'll have my head down.
I think she's a little worried about her right now.
Take care of yourself, Bale.
We do what we can. Tear the shit out of this place.
Hell yeah.
Stewards, you may count the forum.
You think you'll be full today?
The stewards have declared.
Have we met?
We have friends everywhere.
We shall submit a list of our fallen Imperial patriots who gave everything on the brutal streets of Ghorman.
Oh my god, fuck off.
Were there not voices raising the alarm about Ghorman? The only surprise about yesterday's insurgency was the savagery of the Ghorman attack.
Watch the door. I'll get the blasters. One of Supervisor Jung's agents is calling from the Senate.
I knew it.
What are you doing?
It was work.
Show me that.
Oh my god. Luthen wasn't lying.
I'd like to invoke Article 17252. It specifically states that a senior senator, in the case of emergency,
May yield the floor freely without interruption.
Here we go.
I am invoking Article 17252 and yielding the floor to the senior senator.
Here we go.
Shut down the Senate feed. Imperial authority, shut it down.
Angrily struts. We gotta make sure that feed doesn't get cut, though. God, it really is empty. Good God, there's barely anybody here. But it's the broadcast that matters.
Through these many years, upheld our code of conduct.
Where's Chava?
He was with you.
This chamber,
He said to meet here.
is a cauldron of opinions. And we've suddenly all
Had our patience and tempers tested in pursuit of our ideals.
disagreed.
Sorry, bud. No cutting this feed.
I believe
We are in crisis.
the distance between what is said
And what is known to be true has become an abyss.
It's locked. Why is it locked?
It's supposed to be.
It hasn't been locked all year.
We know, we fixed it.
What?
We need the sequence key.
So let's have it.
We took it up to the security office yesterday.
The loss of an
Nice.
objective reality is perhaps the most dangerous.
The death of truth is the ultimate victory of evil.
When truth leaves us,
We become vulnerable to the appetite of whatever monster screams the loudest.
I don't care if you have to cut power to the whole chamber. Get her off the air!
True words.
what took place yesterday on Ghorman was unprovoked genocide. Yes, genocide. And the monster screaming the loudest, the monster we've helped create, is Emperor Palpatine.
Oh. Oh. Hell yeah. Relevant words.
Senator, I was in Ghorman yesterday. I saw everything in the plaza.
I've made my statement.
I have friends everywhere.
I would have led with that.
He does not leave the building.
I know Luthen can be hard, but if he's right about this, you have no choice but to come with me. Just keep walking.
Oh, let's go. Here we go. Here we go.
The senator has a very important meeting to get to. Who are you? We're here to help you.
Let's move ahead.
Oh! Whoa!
Back away! That means you.
She's a rebel spy!
Oh! Nice play.
Who are you? Nobody.
We have no time to figure this out.
No. Go, I'll get there.
Are you sure?
I've got this, go.
Put this on. We need to get to the rear loading dock. There's a ride waiting for us.
I'm not sure I can do this.
Welcome to the rebellion.
Scum.
No shit.
They're shutting down the building.
Forget the loading dock.
He's asking to evacuate the building.
No! Seal it up! Lock it down! Where's Young's agent?
We're still trying.
They've killed Young's agent. I am standing by. I was just making sure.
Oh, they're gonna get him to take them out.
What's going on up there?
I was showing you.
What's he doing?
That's my driver.
Will he help?
No, he's an ISB plant.
What's his name?
What?
Name?
The Chloris.
Chloris!
What are you doing?
We found her! And who are you?
Oh my god! That was dirty! God! Fuck!
Colonel Yularen on line 3.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to make that report right now.
Last call on ordnance. If you've got a weapon and it's not on that table, it means you're either too stupid to follow orders or you're a threat to base security. Once the duty officer has made inspection, everything that needs approved.
Who belongs to this?
I think that's mine.
Welcome back.
I can't believe you made it.
He's got somewhere he needs to be.
Is he back there?
Oh, wait, what? Oh.
Made it out.
You need to leave right away. She's not going with you.
There's a ship waiting. They want her to make a speech. They want her coming in with a Yavin escort.
They want to rewrite the story.
Oh.
I'm not sure how to thank you.
Make it worth it. Hey, go with them. They'll fix him up. Get some rest. Go.
Is it back?
No, it's clean. He's young.
Who's his nurse?
She survived the Ghorman massacre. She'll fit right in.
We are not going to log this in. That's the plan. Gold Squadron will deliver the Senator to Yavin. She's making a speech. We need it broadcast as far as possible. We can listen in my office if you like.
I've heard her before. There's a dead KX unit backed up inside.
KX droid?
I think we got all the pieces. What is it?
Marion, leave. You need to sleep.
I'm done, Biggs.
Have your tea.
I want to be with you. I'm gonna talk to Draven tomorrow. We'll leave before it gets too complicated. We'll find some place quiet. There's still places to go to. We have what we need. Why aren't you saying anything?
I'm listening.
The only special thing about me is luck. And I've overplayed my hand already. Nothing's worth more than this. I mean it.
I know. I know you do.
What did she do? I think she's removing herself from the equation. She knows he's needed here, that he's got something else to do, and that as long as she's around, he won't do it.
Vix.
My love, I have to leave.
Wow.
I can't be the reason you leave here. We have to beat them. And I believe you have purpose in making that happen. I need to believe that. So I'm choosing for the both of us. I'm choosing the rebellion.
That's so fucked. But I get it.
The transport, where are they? Everything is leaving went this morning.
She's already gone.
And when it's done, and we've won, we can do all the things we ever wanted. Everything we know we've missed. I'll find you.
Captain Andor, they're getting ready to power up the droid you brought in.
Damn, dude. That's so messed up, too. Had she not done that, we would have lost. We wouldn't have been able to take down the Death Star. The trade is, though, they never get to reunite.
We have some protective goggles here.
I'll take a weapon. Turn it on.
I'm not sure that's safe.
Hit the switch.
Very well. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Oh, God.
Hello. If I've offended you, I apologize. If not, I'd appreciate you pointing that elsewhere.
Here we go. Dude, this pod was insane. So Bix gets to survive. I mean, who knows? She could die out in the galaxy somewhere, and who knows what happens from that point onward. We'll never know. I mean, we'll see if there's like an epilogue at the end of this with maybe like a recounting of Cassian's exploits or something like that, a reaction to what happened, what he did, what his team did, which would be fucked up to see, but like, she knows, I think, better than anybody. I mean, Luthen too. Like, what Cassian brings to the table. And that, especially after that experience with that Force healer, knowing that he's got this purpose and that she doesn't want to impede that and is removing herself from the equation so that they can win, because she knows the rebellion needs somebody like him. You know, Luthen's always talking, is like, I need you to think like a leader. I need you to be one. I need you to be a part of this. And he's always there. He's always there. And whether it's divine intervention by the Force, the will of it and whatnot, whatever you want to call it, her acting upon this sets the stage for what is to come. Their happiness can't be the thing that cost the rebellion this war. It's incredibly selfless and brave and just tragic. Because at every turn, he's like, last mission. I'm done after this, all these things. But he's always there, whether it's by his own choice or his own volition or something he needs out of a situation that just happens to coincide with everything else. Like the being baited to Ghorman was a personal thing. That was revenge for Ferrix they were playing upon because he had gotten away from Luthen, but it still made him come in and take the call all the same. The other thing is, he's always like, I just want to make my own choices. This is another one where he was choosing her, but she was like, no. You know, it just takes away another one of his choices, leaving him with none but fighting. It's just heroically heartbreaking. Because like Luthen said, every time that Cassian would show up and would give Luthen crap about whatever this next mission is, Luthen would just be like, well, you're here, aren't you? He always still shows up. But despite all of his complaining, all of his moaning, all of that, I think deep down he knows the reality, but he's still trying to fight against it. He wants that happy ending for himself. But at the same time, accepting that would deprive the rebellion of this asset and the ability to win this war. And everybody else can kind of see that. And even like with Cassian, I think as much as he does bemoan the situation that he's left with here, and I find myself doing this at times too, is just like, you know, sometimes things will come across your table, you're doing these things on repeat, you know, whether it's for yourself, somebody, a family member, and you'll bitch, you'll moan, you'll complain about it or whatever. But then when it boils down to it, when push comes to shove, by the end of the day, you still buckle down and do it. I think a lot of what Cassian is trying to do is will this into being despite what they've got here. And even if he did follow through on it this time, unlike the previous ones, how would that feel for Bix, knowing that she's the reason potentially that, one, they don't have a leader, because she doesn't know the outcome of all of this, but she knows how important Cassian is. But to be the reason that the Empire wins and the rebellion is snuffed out, that you chose your happiness over the happiness of the masses. You know, it's a sacrificial play. And while on the outside it is depriving him of his choice, at the end of the day, a lot of the theme across this has been there has never been a choice. Because no matter what, he always ends up where he needs to be. It is this weird kind of torrential maelstrom of fate, of destiny, that keeps pulling him into where he needs to be, where he needs to go, which is honestly just kind of fascinating and beautiful in a way, despite how tragic it also is. And if we want to talk other twists of fate, just like that blaster, you know, Syril's blaster from the beginning, from Milana 1, that eventually ended up with Melshi, who finally made his way here. You know, that blaster being accounted for here on the table when they were kind of assembling all these different weapons together and examining them and bringing in these new recruits and all this, you know. It's weird in one way, shape, or form that despite what happened with Syril last episode, that some piece of him has kind of proceeded on into the rebellion all the same. So just a weird twist of fate like that, man. The Force works in mysterious ways, it does. And then the entire thing with Mon navigating, delivering her speech, getting the truth out there to whomever will listen. And then seeing that as much as she was trusting Bael and hates and despises Luthen, that he's the one that still had her back. He knows how important she is, and as much as she's afraid of him at this point because of all the things that she knows he's capable of and that she's the one that knows the most, he needs her. He needs her as the face of this. He can't even take credit for it. Because Luthen was able to find out that Bael's group was compromised. You know, it was one of Lonnie's agents, which is likely how he found out that Bael's, you know, chosen few to smuggle her out of here was already compromised. So they probably already had this whole thing figured out. So that network, again, was just all these little seeds, all these things we were kind of following up until this point, all kind of fell into place so that Luthen could thankfully get her out of there. But especially after everything that happened with Ghorman, you can see he's very, very rattled. Like he is kind of fearful or doubtful of his own intel at this point because he has been manipulated. So it's interesting, especially now too, is if that incident with that agent being shot in the middle of that little escape, you know, I'm wondering if that's going to turn around and lead them to Lonnie, if that's going to turn around and lead them to Luthen. Are those dominoes going to fall over at all? And are they going to fall over in a different order than I'm thinking? I'm not really sure. But anyway, coming back to what I was talking about with Luthen and the credit, like, you know, it was his team that got her out of here. They co-opted the entire rebel plan of getting out of there because that was already compromised, but they were able to get her out there. But to keep things on track, they needed a rebel group to be the ones that delivered her. So again, they can't take any credit for the actions that they've, you know, put into motion to get this spark to turn into this flame, to get her to her destination. You know, connecting this full circle into what we see in Rebels, though, with a fair amount of retcons or things that might not line up just as nicely as one would hope because of how well this is done. I kind of don't mind the retcons. And then just the level of like eyes and ears the ISB and the Empire had plugged into everything to try to mitigate and control this situation. And then like even some infiltrating Bael's squadron, somebody she knows she thought she could trust. And it wasn't Bael's fault. There's no way he could have known. That's how good all the setup was. But Luthen always had his ear to the ground and always had a way out. And, you know, but Willman was able to survive this. Drina was able to survive this. They got out. He's injured, very, very badly injured, but alive. So the only like main character death we had in this section was Syril. And what a death that was. They don't even know the numbers of Ghorman that died that day. And the Empire is spinning it as if they were provoked. This was a growing thing that they just let get out of hand. And it's all the focus on all the lives of Imperials lost, holding a memorial for all of the martyrs, as they called them. Just trying to rewrite the story just as they are unwriting and rewriting the story themselves to try to push back against the narrative. And then Mon taking the fall and being brave, and Cassian's extraction, getting her out of there. And then that whole sequence was just so well done. This pod, I think, especially the way it handled this looming dread and how every moment felt like a battle in and of itself. There was just always a storm coming, or that we were in the thick of it. Like there was always felt like every turn, every corner was fraught with danger, because it was. The way they did all of these episodes were masterful. God, I'm still coming back to that moment with Cassian and the driver, because I thought for a second, like when he left the car, I mean, I don't know why he was compelled to even leave the car and go look for her to begin with. But then when Cassian was, I was like, who's that? That's my driver, but he's an ISB plant. Cassian just be like, hey man, we got her. And he's like, oh yeah, who are you? And he just like, kapow, just takes him out. Cassian is so goated for that, man. And then with this whole thing, you know, Cassian being set onto the path obviously is leading him towards that inevitable destination. He's paired up with K2 at the end of this. Again, the way the show just, and I've said this before, but like in each section, we get to see things in like a different light about how this type of political machine works. Like this beast that is the Empire and the Emperor, the monster at the top that she called out in her speech. I loved that. No matter how much you might think that he's your friend by the end of this, he will eventually come for you too. He's no one's friend. He is out for himself. This beast only cares about its own survival. This machine is just meant to operate and to cultivate and keep this thing going and to drain the life out of everybody and to control every aspect of it. We see it in the way they manipulate the narrative. They control the systems. They're bugging everybody who may have a differing opinion other than their own. After this whole little incident, they're listening on all the senators because they want to know if anybody's going to talk about it. They want to snuff out the truth where it ends to sell their own lie out of an enemy they created and a narrative that isn't true in the slightest. And it's just all to prop themselves up to get what they want out of the situation and keep on rolling. But then it's about the people that are brave enough to realize what they're doing and how dangerous the waters are and still to speak up and not let the truth be drowned out by all of the noise. Like, I love the way this show really navigates all these things and how these themes continue to just be relevant. Sometimes you'll run into a piece of media where it's very so rooted politically in a specific moment, time, place, and all of that. But you can make these connections to a lot of things going on right now. But the thing about it is, these things have happened multiple times throughout history in various different degrees. It's timeless, man. It's both relevant and completely timeless. That's the beauty about Star Wars, man. Even when you go back and look at like the original stuff, that was the entire idea. That was the entire focus, the entire purpose and point, simplified in a very, classical hero's journey tale that George was telling. But at the end of the day, it was all the same stuff. We're just getting deeper into the beast that he created and crafted. Out of every Star Wars project that we've had in the last couple of years, this is the most that is directly tied into what George was talking about and depicting in the original trilogy. The conversation, at least, that he was trying to have, and that's the part about it I really, really love, because the DNA of the OT is just so entangled and entrenched in just all of Andor. I'm really curious to see how all this is going to come to a close in the next section, how that's going to bring us full circle with what we know as far as where the story goes in Rogue One, who all's going to actually make it out of this alive. I'm kind of surprised that with the Biggs thing, I thought that was going to be like the final straw, the thing that like cemented Cassian into this. And while it technically is, it wasn't because she died or sacrificed herself or was lost in the fight and he had nothing else to ground him here anymore. She realized he wouldn't keep on going as long as she was around, because she was always going to be the excuse for him to want to leave. But that's the other real tragedy of war itself, of fighting back. There's the sacrifice of the people that are fighting the fight. Like Luthen said, this whole thing is to build something he's never going to see. And most of them won't. That's another real world connection to bring it in, because there's so many people that went to fight for our country, for others, for whatever they believed in, and they never get to come home. They fight and they put and they sacrifice the happiness, this homestead, this future he could have with Bix, not so they can have it, but that other people can. That's kind of all I got for now, man. This was a long one, so I'm going to go ahead and cut myself off. So what'd you guys think? How did you feel about the episode? Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. If it did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. Remember, if you want to see the full-length reaction, as always, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, get you access as well. And speaking of before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends. Benny Sherritt, York, Scott, Robert Anguiano, Jeffrey L, Jay Cottrell, Eric Official, Casey Wood, Russell Crockett, Watchtower, Domi, Gregory Toner, Lily Chan's son, and Joshua Swinnell. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. But that's it for this video, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. But until then, may the Force be with you always. Take care, everybody.